Chapter 4. Heat. Let's begin. Hot and cold. But how do we find out how hot or cold a body is? We normally use sense of touch to differentiate between the hot and cold bodies. But this sense of touch is a mere speculation but not a reliable way of determining hotness or coldness. Wrong sensation would give us wrong estimation. Temperature and its measurement. The quantity temperature is a reliable method of finding out how hot and cold a body is. Temperature is defined as the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It is the thermal condition of a body that determines whether it will receive heat from or give heat to another body. We cannot measure the temperature of an object by sense of touch. Therefore, we use an instrument to measure it. The device called thermometer is used to measure the temperature of a given body. There are different types of thermometers. The difference is the scales used for measuring temperature. The Celsius or the Fahrenheit scale is mostly used to measure temperature. Celsius scale. The temperature on this scale is measured in degrees C. Degrees Celsius. On a Celsius thermometer, the lowest marking is 0 degrees Celsius and the highest is 100 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius corresponds to the temperature of pure ice melting into water and is called the lower fixed point or freezing point. 100 degrees Celsius corresponds to the temperature of pure water boiling to form vapor and is called the upper fixed point or boiling point. Day-to-day measurements are taken on the Celsius scale. Fahrenheit scale. Temperature is measured in degree F, degree Fahrenheit. Also, in this scale the lower fixed point is taken as 32 degrees Fahrenheit and upper fixed point is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Thus, in a Fahrenheit scale, 0 degrees Celsius equals 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 100 degrees Celsius equals to 112 degrees Fahrenheit. For scientific measurements, Kelvin temperature is measured in K. In the Kelvin scale, the lower fixed point is approximately 273 K and the upper fixed point is about 373 K. If C, F and K are the temperatures of a body or Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin scales respectively, then these three scales are related as
degree Celsius upon 100 is equal to degree Fahrenheit minus 32 upon 180 equal to Kelvin minus 273 upon 100.
Types of mercury thermometer. Clinical thermometer. The thermometer used to measure the temperature of a human body is called clinical thermometer or doctor's thermometer. It is marked from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. It is so because the normal temperature of a human body is 37 degrees Celsius. It does not fall below 35 degrees Celsius nor does it rise above 42 degrees Celsius. The corresponding markings in degree F are also usually marked on it. A clinical thermometer indicates temperatures from a minimum of 35 degrees Celsius or 94 degrees Fahrenheit to a maximum of 42 degrees Celsius or 108 degrees Fahrenheit. The normal human body temperature is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Precautions while using a clinical thermometer. The thermometer should be washed before and after use, preferably with an antiseptic solution. Jerk the thermometer a few times to bring the level of the mercury down. Before use, the mercury level should be below 35 degrees Celsius or 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not hold the thermometer by its bulb. Keep the mercury level along your line of sight and then take the reading. Handle the thermometer with care. If it hits against some hard object, it may break. Do not place the thermometer in a hot flame or in the hot sun. Laboratory thermometer. Since clinical thermometers cannot be used to measure temperature other than human body, we need a special type of thermometers for other purposes. A laboratory thermometer is used for measuring temperatures other than the human body temperature. Its range is 10°C to 110°C. Laboratory thermometers are used to measure the temperature in school and other laboratories for scientific research. They are also used in the industry, as they can measure temperatures higher than what clinical thermometers can record. Precautions to be followed while using a laboratory thermometer. Do not tilt the thermometer while measuring the temperature. Place it upright. Note the reading only when the bulb has been surrounded by the substance from all sides. Difference between a clinical and a laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer. Laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer is used to measure the body temperature. Laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature in laboratory. To lower the mercury level, jerks are given. Need not give jerks as temperature falls automatically when removed from the source. Temperature can be read after removing the thermometer from armpit or mouth. Temperature can be read only when the thermometer is kept in the source, like liquid or anything. Clinical thermometer is scaled from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, or from 94 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Laboratory thermometer is generally scaled from 10 degrees C to 110 degrees Celsius. Mercury level does not fall on its own. Kink near the bulb prevents the fall of mercury level. Mercury level falls on its own as no kink is present. Digital thermometer. Nowadays, digital thermometers are used which do not contain mercury, as mercury is a toxic substance. Practical applications of heat energy and thermal expansion. Heat energy can be used to do mechanical work. For example, heat energy of steam in a steam engine is used for running a train. The heat energy liberated during the burning of petrol, diesel is used to run cars, buses, etc. The railway track is made up of metal, iron. The summer heat and friction between train and tracks causes the metal to expand, and for that reason it may also bend. So, a little gap is kept and joined with the fish plate. The cable wires between two poles are left loose. This is done so that on a hot summer day, electrical power lines sag between power poles. The sag occurs because the wires grow longer as the temperature increases. On the other hand, in winters when the temperature drops, the wires do not break on contracting. Transfer of heat. In our everyday life, it has been observed that when a pan full of water is boiled on a flame, its temperature increases, but when the flame is turned off, it slowly cools down. This is because of the phenomenon of heat transfer taking place between the pan full of water and the flame. The flow of heat energy from one body to another is called transmission or transfer of heat. Transfer of heat occurs by any one of the following methods: conduction, convection, radiation. Conduction. Heat conduction refers to the transfer of heat between the bodies due to physical contact between the bodies. It is defined as the transmission of heat through a solid substance from its hotter part to its colder part without the actual movement of the particles. The transfer of heat by conduction actually occurs at a molecular level. Absorption of heat by a body causes the molecules of that body to gain excess energy. In the process of gaining energy and vibrating excessively, they bump into their neighbors and transfer a little bit of its extra energy to them. This extra energy appears in the neighboring molecules and heats them up too. This is how heat is transferred as long as heat is still being supplied. Conductors and insulators. There are some solids which allow heat to pass through them. Such substances are called conductors. All metals like silver, copper, iron and aluminium are conductors. Applications of conductors and insulators. Cooking utensils are made up of metals like copper, iron, etc. because metals are good conductors of heat. These metals help in the transfer of heat and food is cooked. The handles of cooking utensils are made of insulators like wood, plastic, etc. As the handles made of insulators do not get heated up while cooking, we can hold them easily. Eskimos live in cold countries. Their houses are made of snow and are called igloos. Igloos are made of snow and contain a lot of trapped air. The air acts as an insulator. It does not allow the heat generated within the igloo to escape out. Hence, air keeps the igloo warm. Mud houses are cool in summers and warm in winters. It is so because mud is a bad conductor of heat. So, in summers, heat from outside does not flow in, and similarly in winters heat from inside does not flow out. Convection. In this process, heat is transferred in the liquid and gases from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature. Convection heat transfer occurs partly due to the actual movement of molecules of the medium. Heating of milk in a pan happens due to convection. It is the transfer of heat from one place to another through fluids, that is liquids and gases, by actual mass movement of their heated particles. On heating a liquid or a gas, the part that has been warmed expands and becomes lighter. Hence it rises while the remaining cold liquid or gas sinks down. This movement of warm and cold liquid or gas is called convection current. We can observe the convection current in a beaker of water through an activity. Applications of convection. Room ventilation. Rooms are ventilated ordinarily by convection. Doors and windows provided at the bottom of a room draw fresh and heavy air into it. Movement of prey birds. During the day, hot air surrounding the land gradually rises up and a convection air current develops. Air current. A movement of air which carries heat from a warmer place to a cooler place is called convection air current. Formation of land and sea breeze. Land and sea breezes are wind and weather phenomena associated with the coastal areas. In coastal areas, the direction of the wind changes depending on the day and night. In the daytime, the land becomes hotter than sea. So, the air above the land also heats up faster than the air above the sea. As a result, the hot air above the land rises up and the cold air above the sea rushes to take its place. Hence, the cold breeze blows towards land from the sea. This is known as sea breeze. During night, the land cools down faster than the sea. It changes the direction of the wind. The sea is warmer than the land. As a result, the hot air above the sea rises up. So, the cooler air from the land blows to the sea to take its place. This is known as land breeze. Radiation. There is third way by which heat can be transferred from a hot body to a cooler body. This mode of transfer of heat is called radiation. It is a process of transmission of heat in which heat energy travels in straight lines from hotter to cooler areas without the help of any intervening medium. It means that radiation is different from the conduction and convection in the sense that it does not need any medium like those for conduction or convection. Applications of radiation. Thermos flask. It is a special kind of container for keeping liquids. It prevents loss or gain of heat by any of the three methods. It keeps a liquid warm or cold for a long time. It was invented by Sir James Devon in 1893. A thermos flask is a double-walled glass cylinder. The space between the two walls has vacuum. White and light-colored clothes are more suitable in summer because they absorb very little amount of sun's heat and hence keep our bodies cool. Room heaters have polished reflectors at the back of heating element, so they can absorb less amount of heat and reflect the most of it. Radiators of cars and air conditioners are painted black so they can radiate maximum amount of heat to produce cooling effect.